and it's incredibly expensive and very disposable, but it creates a lot of jobs in certain states. And it's like and look, there's enough hardware now to fly a couple missions and make sure you beat China back to the moon. But you can't be stuck on this forever. This is literally the equivalency, by the way, of taking P-51 Mustangs from World War II and using them in Desert Storm because we got to keep the plants open. And that obviously makes no logical sense whatsoever. For factories that are making this stuff that used to make landing ships in World War II, that made Saturn rocket, that pivoted to shuttle to SLS, and now to believe that you can't make another pivot is kind of crazy. And the right thing you should pivot towards, honestly, is nuclear.
Mm-hmm. I want to just talk about the Trump budget proposal for NASA. So this is the NASA budget over the history of NASA. And the proposed budget would basically create the lowest budget since 1961. So they're proposing to reduce the overall budget from $25 billion a year down to $19 billion a year. Were you part of the conversation on building this budget? And then I'll highlight some of the features of this budget here in a moment. But did you have conversations with the administration as this was being put together and some of these proposals were being considered? I mean, how deep have you gone in this?
No, when you're a nominee, you're actually kept in the dark on a lot of things. You do get briefed on everything that's going on with every center, every major program, things that senators could ask you about from like a one-on-one perspective, but you're not given access to sensitive information. You almost need some deniability when you're talking to senators on that, or else your nominations could get held up really big time. So I wasn't aware. I honestly, I was voted out of committee, the Commerce Committee by, Senator Cruz and 19 senators in total. And the next day, the skinny budget came out. And if that skinny budget had come out, again, a day or two earlier, I would never have made it out of committee, because obviously, as I think is playing out right now, both sides of the aisle are not happy about the budget.
Okay, so in this budget, there's a proposal to cancel SLS and Orion, terminate numerous robotic science missions, including the Mars Sample Return mission, probes to Venus, and several future space telescopes. And it represents the White House's desire to end the development of a nuclear thermal rocket engine. I guess, having scrutinized this budget, how do you react to what you see being proposed? And does it solve what you've identified as some of the challenges in NASA, or are those more management challenges? Does budget create a constraining force here that fixes some of the issues with respect to focus and concentration of capital into the right projects from your point of view?
Yeah, it's an excellent question.